How the hell are you?
Tired as always, you know that.
Been sitting down too much.
Not enough hours in the day to get everything done in a timely manner.
No, there's not. Hey, you shaved again. You gotta grow that beard back, man. We gotta be beard buddies.
It was getting bushy,
That's what. Yeah, that's funny.
and it
One of
just
my
starts
friends.
showing too much. It starts showing too much gray, and I was like, you know what? I'd rather look like a fat kid at summer camp than an old man about to have a heart attack.
Uh-huh. Well, that's what one of my friends accused me of being bushy. He said, "You're looking pretty bushy." I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of looking homeless today, aren't I? Okay, let's whatever.
Well, I always have a hat on.
Whatever. I'll deal with it. Raise this up a skosh. Whoop, that's not right. So, I had something I wanted to talk about today, but now I'm gonna mention third-party estimating. I think that'll benefit both of us, but there's a reason I want to talk about it. But okay, Michael Bolin. Let's see if we can get in there. About 3 minutes.
Oh,
So
here,
what's
real
new?
quick,
Yeah,
real quick,
what's up?
I'm going to send you an ESX file here. Take a look at it. It's this fire job. I don't know if you saw the post I did on Ninjas or not, but State Farm gave me 0 reductions on it. So I don't know if I feel really proud of myself or if I feel like I left a bunch of shit off. But
Oh, you left something on the table. Yeah.
well, I mean, I was like $70,000 over limits. So I'm sure they're just like, fuck it, like
Yeah.
take the run. But you know how they like to usually try to bring it down a little bit just for prosperity's sake, it seems like. And they were just like, can't argue with it.
You email it to me?
Yeah, I just sent it to you.
All right. Let me refresh my email. Oh, that's weird. Now none of I'm having some weird stuff happening with my POP3 accounts. Huh. I wonder if my email server is toast. That's not good. Yeah, it looks like I nope. It looks like it worked. Okay. Weirdness. Okay, Joe Spears, fire. Okay, there's an ESX. I'm gonna throw it over here. Oh, that didn't work. Come on, download it to my desktop. There it is. All right, let's open Xactimate. Let's bring it over. Oh, come on. There it is. Import successful. Okay. Fire example. Is there anything in here I can't show?
Nope, it's all redacted and been removed. So that way there, if you share screen or
All right.
something.
Let's let everyone else in on it here. Share screen. Fire example. Sharing. Okay. Well, let's I like to start here. I like to start on oh, that's sexy. I don't
Sure to click all levels.
Oh man. That's
I
man,
don't even
you
want to tell you how much of a pain in the ass it was to do that roof over that little partial second floor on the right side there. I had to end up making it a gable roof with 2 flat roofs on each side, so the framing didn't try to clip into the room itself. Because when I just did it as like a pure gable all the way across, it was making the framing go into the room a little bit. It still is a little bit, but not as bad as
this
it
room
was.
here.
Yeah, I had to end up making that a gable roof for just over that room, and then a flat roof from each exterior wall there down to the main level.
So
Like you said, you told me the other day, man, I fall in love with the meat I cut, dude. I spent more time
Yeah,
on.
man.
on it
You're a butcher falling in love with the meat, man. But it's pretty. It's a nice cut. That is nice. All right, let's see what we got going on here.
Well, that's the framing sketch, by the way. So there's two sketches because I always separate up my framing from my reconstruct interior, like my finishes stuff, just because it gets real. Because I like how the framing is always in the main group folders, and I don't want to mix up with all my other stuff I do.
Okay. Well, that's not a bad way to do it. Oh, okay. Man, that looks really good. Okay, let's dig in here. I just redid my general conditions macro today in anticipation of next week's class.
You know, I've been, if you look right there between 4 and 5, that little note there where it says services rendered before start a project. Ever since I've been putting that designation in on my stuff, I've been getting less kickbacks because they
What,
register
this one?
the F9 note above 5 on the
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Services rendered before start of project.
so that way there they know they're already incurred cost.
What's your okay?
And I get less kickback when I do it that way.
You want to see what I do? Let's go. I'll show you what I do. So I've got this. Let's add a note. I do what job related overhead expenses. So that's the note I use.
Yeah, I have, that's part of the white page I have on the cover sheet there, but
Yep.
I mean, I'm always trying to figure out, I mean, people underestimate sometimes how well an F9 note can help you get things moving forward a little bit easier.
Yeah, and then what do you do on this, man?
That's
Okay,
that's
so you
the
put the
actual
link.
time. That's
Okay,
the actual time to scan it.
but you didn't go in here and do a space, so it's linked.
But
If you didn't do that, would it still be linked up in the PDF? You think?
I think so. Yeah, it should, just because the PDF reader will register it as a website link.
All right, I always just make sure that it pings up there. So what I put in my opening state or my general conditions notes for that was nope. Here it is. That's the note I use right here. The use of third-party documentation and capture tools allow all material interested parties to collaborate on a single data set. This eliminates potential for bias, blah, 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 blah. In accordance with the duties after loss section of the insurance policy, the insured is required to provide a detailed estimate of damages following a loss. This process often involves blah, blah, blah. So that's what just so you know, Joe, I'm putting together all my macros, notes, and opening statements for next week's class, and I'll just send you a copy of all of them.
Cool.
And if any of you rebels want that, and we're not recording, so this isn't going out of the world. If any of you rebels watching or want those things, send me a DM with your email address, and I guess I can do that for the Rebel Nation. What's that?
So slide into your DMs.
Slide into my DMs. I like that. Okay, so you're using that. What was this? $26.
Eagle View.
Oh, Eagle View. Okay.
And then the next one's only for $4 for the digitally delivered sketch of the roof. So that way they don't fight on me with me on it.
Okay, so you got two of those, that's fair. 4.
It's only 4.
Oh, so it only costs you $4 for the ESX from Eagle View?
You have to pay for the Eagle View sketch per account, but then it's only an additional $4 to have them give you the actual physical Xactimate sketch, regardless of the price of how much the report was. It's only $4 extra. That's why I'm a big supporter.
I don't have an Eagle View account. Hey, if I send you an address, can you pull an Eagle View for me?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's free to integrate it into your Xactimate.
Is it?
Free. And then you just order your Eagle Views through Xactimate, and it'll charge you an extra $4, and you get the sketch. And Usually 24 hours on a roof, and then usually 48 hours if you do a roof and wall report.
Okay. Because if you saw this bad boy, right? Screen photos. Let's just do that. You saw that mamba jamba, right?
Yeah, that's funky.
Hover. So Hover couldn't do it, obviously, because it's like 4 buildings smushed into one. And then I submitted the plans circa 1972 to Hover, and Hover still said no. So I am still at a loss how I'm going to sketch this thing. So Eagleview, let's give it a shot on Eagleview.
Or do you need the roof and walls?
I need roof and walls.
All right, I'll see how much it's going to be and let you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pay whatever it is.
That's fine.
Yeah, and mark it up because I'll pass that shit along. That is the most effed up. I mean, if I tried to do this by hand, I'd go back out to Mammoth, California, and I'd spend a week because this is the weirdest thing. But I mean, I guess you could fake way through it with the plans I have. But yeah. Okay. Well, there's only just you, me, and Michael. What's up, Michael? It's 5:37. All right, let's get this thing going. Let me get up
When you
to
get a chance though, switch out, go from the framing folder there, go down to the recon and take a look at how I do the main levels and stuff and all, because a lot of people seem to forget that you can use EW and IW to your advantage on the main level folder.
yeah, which I'm a huge fan of. Let's come back here. Share. Okay, so you're talking about this.
Well, that's the framing stuff, so you can minimize.
That's okay. So your frame. Let's close the framing level reconstruction. Come on. Yep. Exterior walls, interior walls. Oh, okay. Does this capture your joist though?
That would be up in the ceiling section there.
Oh, okay. Okay. My OCD is gonna take over. I'm gonna bold these things. Even though this is not going anywhere, but I'm still bolding them. Yeah, I have a sickness. Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a great inside scoop there. If you're operating in the main level or the level folder, not in any particular room, you can use these variables. Yeah, interior walls only, exterior walls only. Comes very much in handy. You can also do perimeter. You can do all kinds of stuff. So let's come in here. So you can do, here it is, linear feet of exterior wall perimeters, EPW.
That's great for if you do R13 on your walls, but you do like an R20 along the C channel and band boards. Great for doing those calculations there.
Yep. All right, we're gonna.
If you look at all, I will tell you excluding that general section, if you look at any of those rooms there, I challenge you to find any actual hand calculation because I don't think there's a single hand calculation in any room whatsoever.
Oh, well, let's start recording and we'll start bragging on you. Let's see here. Let's get the rebel agreements up here. Close this sucker down a little bit. Stop share. Start share. Here it is, sharing. And I can't start recording. Now we're recording. Now I'm sharing. Here it is. What is up, Rebel Nation? Andy McCabe here. Joe Spears over there. This is the Restoration Rebel Roundtable for the 23rd of August, 2023. And these are the Rebel agreements. Here we go. Agreement number 1. I will protect the value of my services. Offering free services only serves to erode the value of similar services industry-wide. Agreement number 2, I will practice incredible transparency. I will explain the claim process in detail to my clients. I will not hide pricing details or falsify reports. I will never communicate with an adjuster without also communicating with my client. Agreement number 3, I do not believe in competition. Restoration companies in my market are part of my community. I will be an active member of my community. It is our unbreakable unity that will create the change that we strive for. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about some things we can do. Agreement number 4, I am willing to walk away from any project, client, or contract that is not compatible with my values and stated mission. Stated mission. How many of us know what our mission is and we state it out loud? I challenge you. No relationship is worth losing money, sleep, or my humanity. Boom and boom. But before we get going there, we're going to brag on Mr. Spears here. Mr. Spears, I am not ashamed to say it, is better at Xactimate than I am. I'm just going to say that right now. His style is precise, clean, and pristine. So what we have here is an estimate for a fire he put together that State Farm. Are you bullshitting me now? Or State Farm had zero?
Well, like I said, I'm about 60 grand over coverage, so they just said we'll take it. We'll use everything's justifiable enough to
And
max
we're
out
going to
the
stroke
policy.
a check for policy limits. Okay.
Yep. Usually they like to try to nickel and dime down, see if they can bring it closer to policy, closer to maybe get it back under cap. But they just said, you know what, we're good with it.
But for those of you who weren't watching on the Restoration Rebel Facebook page, who are just joining the show, I really like what you did here. I'm not sure if I have the patience to do this, but I understand why you did it. He put his framing on a different, completely different sketch. For those of you not super familiar with Xactimate, you can put different sketches here down below. So his framing looks like this. I'm just going to go 3D and do all levels. So why does it look like there's siding though? It looks like lap siding on the inside of this thing.
When you do textured and all, it's because it's registering it as an exterior wall.
Oh, okay. So it's just a texture. It doesn't actually exist. Okay. But look at that. I mean, look at that. Now, when you print it, do you print it showing the 3D view or do you print it showing the 2D view?
I shift V. Probably if you already looked in there, I'll hit the view I want, hit shift V, and it'll save the view I want. So when I can print it off later.
So I go in here.
Aim it where you want, hit shift V.
Shift V. View name. Do I have to name it?
Name it whatever you want. You can just say framing or something. And then no matter what I do there, if I move the roof, it'll save that view at that angle with the framing turned on, no matter what other changes I make to the sketch while I'm working on it. And then under documents, when you go to print it off, you go to sketch info, the sketch right there next to images. And there you can turn on all the different views for when you want to print it off. You can see the different views.
Well, let's just select them all. Print roof framing takeoff. Why not? Whatever. I'm clicking everything. Let's preview. Of course, a preview is probably going to come up in a screen that is not shared. Let's see what happens. Yeah, not shared. So let's stop our share and start our share. And let's see what it looks like.
I don't think you're streaming to the group, Facebook group.
I am. Yeah. The window's open right here.
All right.
Yeah. Sean Ivory says hi. What's up, Sean? Mr. Ivory. Okay. I'm not seeing what I was looking for, but it's probably, I clicked so many things. But I'm not seeing the 3D view. What's going on here?
Keep going up.
Oh, I did click elevations, didn't I? What's this view? Framing level 2. Interesting.
Where all your framing walls are.
Oh, that's okay. So elevations and the framing.
I see. I don't like doing the framing of it because it always gets funky like that on you.
Yeah, it does. No, I want the full 3D view. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to play with that. So I'm in the middle of standardizing our presentations as far as what our estimates look like. I want every estimate that comes out of my shop to look identical, to have the same identical stuff in it. And I think we're going to incorporate that.
Well, and like I said, I
The
mean, if you
3D
look at
view.
the sketch, I mean, one of the reasons why I have such high success with my estimates is if you go to the sketch tab and look at the rooms themselves, every single thing has an icon to it. And every outlet does, every cabinet, even the vents, everything has an icon connected to it that I then connect to the line items. So like if I take an outlet from the garage and I copy and paste it in another room, it'll take that line item, anything that outlet icon or that switch icon, like if it's clean and, you know, detach and reset, it'll take all the common line items connected to that icon to the other rooms. And it's a nice way to speed through adding icons. And if you like, I just set up one single room at first, and then I just copy and paste a lot of the icons around. Everything travels with it. But you know, like with the kitchens or the cabinets, there ain't nothing better than an adjuster trying to be like, oh, you know, if he wants, he can't really argue with you on your cabinet count because it's all based on the boxes there.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of doing cabinets in Sketch in 3D because you're exactly right. It's really hard to argue. It's incredibly tough. You know, does this look like the kitchen they had or doesn't it?
Yep.
Oh, that's
Just
beautiful.
remember,
Man.
if you do, I don't use countertops and all because I just use the linear length of the boxes in my cabinets. Just make sure if you do that, guys, that you add in the additional dishwasher with linear length as well too, because the icon doesn't have a countertop on top of it.
Yeah, that I do. So I'll take my cabinet all the way over there because so just because there's a dishwasher there doesn't mean you don't have an end panel on that cabinet.
That's when I would do a side panel.
Yeah, you're gonna have it. But
you know,
I like doing a cabinet because that cabinet you got. Anyway, I'll do my cabinet all the way, and then I'll put my water washing machine underneath it.
I see people do that all the time.
Yeah. Oh man, that presents so well. And the new the way that X1 started rendering this stuff is super nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I know everyone always has a problem with staircases. I always set my staircase height so it zeroes out at the elevation change, and then I'll do an arch wall like this here on the second floor. And if you look at the sketch, I put an area box on the floor to make it a hole, so it won't count the flooring, but it will count all the walls and everything. And then I don't have to worry about having massive walls high up in the air and shit.
So you put an area. This is an area box.
Just an area box, and then you turn on under the properties there, you'll see where it says hole, and you turn it on.
Yes.
Turn it on, yes, and then that way there it won't count the floor at all. And bibbidi bobbidi.
Oh, this window doesn't show up, does it?
Not for us, no.
No. Yeah. Okay, I see it. Okay.
But that way there I can keep, you know, everyone always question, you know, which side of the sketch should I put my staircase on? Set your top height to 0 height, the second floor ceiling height at 0, and then it will balance all, it'll just square off with the main level, and then do a second room with a peaked ceiling in it and all, and it makes it a lot easier to make your sketch line up the way you want it to.
I got this picture up on the side view. I don't know if Eagle. Do you think Eagle View is going to be able to handle this thing? I mean, you think Eagle View will do that?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Just a couple,
Yeah.
just a couple of gables with a bunch of dormers on it.
It's not just a couple gables with a bunch of dormers on it. Let me
That's
get.
an expensive ass roof, though. I didn't realize it was all cedar. Like,
Yeah, it's all cedar.
look at that. I don't
But
know.
look at
that
this.
one.
You've
Look
got
like a-
one face that goes all the way down, but then this pops up here. Let me find a different.
Damn, the
Look-
number of boots that are going to be on that thing.
Okay,
is gonna
look
be-
at that. Look at that. You get the lower level, but then this ties in. This lower level ties in on the sides and goes up beyond it. Oh man, I don't want to sketch this by hand. I really don't. It's a lot. Is this streaming okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just do that. I did a one around with the
Flat
drone.
roll roofs up there too, with no slopes on it. Wood shakes. I like the windows there. There's no way they're going to be able to do the windows.
You don't think so?
Not that rounded window there like that. Like that's going to be messing it up.
And then you got this is a different building. No, is that the main building? No, that's a different building. That's building 4. But still, so building 4 looks like 2 buildings mashed together. You can see that building in the distance. I mean, this is an Xactimate sketcher's a nightmare.
And y'all thought level 3 was going to be tough.
Oh, I almost lost the drone on that tree. Phew. That was close. That was close. All right, I'm going to close your sketch here. Close that. How do I stop sharing? Stop sharing. Okay, we're back. We are back. Andrew Saul's in the house. Let's get him in here. David Garcia, you got your ears on? What's up, man?
What's up, guys? I'm doing, yeah, they're on. How are you guys doing? I don't know if you guys can hear me.
I can hear you.
Awesome.
Clear.
Yeah, glad to be back. You were away last week. Did you respond to anything to Hawaii? I don't think I read the message, but that's what I assumed.
Hawaii? No, I wasn't going to Hawaii. No, I went that complicated roof you just saw is in Mammoth, California.
Oh,
So
okay.
had a guy call me he's got about 4 or 5 different HOAs down there. The entire city of Mammoth, California was buried in snow this winter, like literally 20 and 30 feet.
Yeah.
There's not a structure in town that you can't find damage on. So last week was a whirlwind. He let me know Wednesday that he wanted me there Friday.
Nice.
So last minute flight. The only flight I could get, the closest flight I could get was Sacramento. So I flew into Sacramento early
Oh, wow.
Thursday, drove Sacramento to Mammoth, 4.5 hours through Tahoe. And then spent all day Friday looking at properties, and then drove back to Sacramento Friday night in an early morning flight on Saturday. So I was a tired dog.
Yeah, it sounds like a busy run around day. At least you got to see a little bit of California, which is nice.
I saw a lot. It's a beautiful country. I just wish I had
Yeah.
more time.
For sure.
I'd never been through there. I'd never been to Mammoth before. It's really cool.
Well, you like mountain biking. I think that'll be your mecca next time you go. Hopefully,
Yeah,
more
we're
pleasure
going
than
back.
business.
We're going back.
Yeah.
Speaking of mountain biking, there's my baby.
Oh, look at that.
There's my
Look
baby.
at that. Is that the $20,000 bike?
It's 10 probably. It's probably 10 at this point.
Nice.
But it's all carbon. You know, it's big. It fits me. It fits me. So I had a panic call. Well, I got to decide what I want to talk about. Let's talk about unifying ourselves as an industry. I put together this little letter here. Where is it? Here it is. And I shared it with a couple folks in the group in response to ward law and third parties. But I think it bears sharing again and talking about. So here's what I have put together. Every time I get a client that Oh, this is not redacted. Okay, how much do I share there? Okay, I don't. I'm not gonna. Okay, I don't want to get in trouble here. Let me see. I can redact it really quick. But I think if one of the things we can do to show unity is start using the same playbook, speaking off the same talking points when it comes to these things, like dealing with third-party folks. Where is my redact button?
Dumb question.
Redact.
What
Here
do
it
you
is.
mean by third party folks?
What I mean is, oh, hold on a second. Let me just erase the claim.
Companies like Wardlaw, Fast Response, AccuServe, these third-party entities that the insurance carriers hire to review the estimates on their behalf and try to negotiate and argue if it's a valid bill or not before the adjuster themselves have to get it and then issue payment on it.
These companies essentially they're the assigned scrubber. They are the first line of defense. The insurance adjuster hasn't even seen it yet, and the carrier sends your estimate or your invoice through them to get scrubbed and filtered and essentially beat down before they send it on to the desk adjuster and they make what they call the recommendation for payment. They make their payment recommendations based on their analysis and their interaction with you. So here it is, redacted. I don't care about calling out MapFree or Sedgwick. So here we go. We in receipt of an audit report from adjuster at Sedgwick regarding invoice services from claim blah blah blah. We have reviewed the requests for information and responded where appropriate, which we did. It's the truth. We responded to the questions that we deemed were appropriate to respond to. We have also reviewed the invoice in question and have found no unintentional or erroneous fees, i.e., we charged for what we did. Both the mitigation services and subsequent invoices were found to be well within industry norms and performed at levels meeting or exceeding the industry standard of care. We have received no valid reasons to decrease the billing or adjust the scope of work performed. Our position regarding third parties and carriers attempting to manipulate restorers is: 1, we oppose the unilateral dictation of restoration procedures, scope, price, or billing by third parties. Restorers are not obligated to modify the scope of work for, provide information or documentation to, or perform specific acts requested by a third party, unless explicitly agreed to in a binding agreement, i.e. contract. We don't have a contract with you. You don't have a contract with us. It's not in the policy, so fuck off. Number 2, neither insurance policies nor state law give insurers or third parties the right to control the manner or scope of a restoration project. A lot of this came from the RIA white papers. So if you're an RIA member, go download those white papers. Policyholders retain full authority in deciding how their properties will be repaired. Number 3, receipts and other information regarding the contractor's costs should not be required as part of the billing support and are considered proprietary information not subject to scrutiny. Insurers must adhere to state laws requiring payments of undisputed sums promptly, and their consultants cannot cause them to be withheld. How many times has that happened to all of us? Number 4, third-party reviewers lack the requisite. This is my favorite part, and I did make this up, and I'm going to use it until I die. Third-party reviewers lack the requisite expertise, training, licensing, certifications, and authority to create legitimate cost estimates. As of the writing of this letter, this bill remains due. Booyah. So I think, I'm going to distribute this in Word format to the group. I think everyone should be using a version of this letter every single time they get a letter from Young and Associates, Sedgwick, whoever. Andrew Saul, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, you're outside of the restoration world a little bit, but
I think that what I just read, I think you should put number 4 as number 1. Okay.
Good point.
And
Good point.
The other thing I think is that basically the insurance carriers are trying to hold down the estimate numbers. I mean, we have raging inflation, we have all this stuff going on, and they're trying to combat it. And this is one of the ways they're trying to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're saying that whatever these estimates are coming in, they're not legit, okay? Your costs aren't that high. You don't need to charge this much.
They're calling us liars. I hope you can still hear me. I know my video stopped.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you in my side, I'm in the number side, right? And doing the business interruption stuff, it used to be really easy. It used to be, I had somebody on the other side of the claim, we sat down, we talked, we went through the numbers, and they said, you know, I have a problem with this. And I'd look at it and I'd say, okay, you know, you have a legitimate concern. And then I would say, but when I put your claim in the format that it's described in the policy, your revenue is way too low and your expenses are way too high. And they'd look at that and they'd say, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, look at the history. And they're like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. And we would work it out, okay? But the way it works now is there's a legitimate claim and they say the business income loss is like $1,000. That's what they say.
On 100,000. Yes.
No, more like $500,000 or more.
Okay. Yes.
And then what happens is somehow I get a call from a PA. I get a call from one of the, you know, one of the restoration guys tells somebody, hey, there's this guy that does business income, call him. So I get involved and then I do my model and I send it out. And it goes from 1,000 to like 62,500 overnight, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because they realize, oh wow, somebody's really looking at this. And then I send in my stuff and I send in my rebuttal letter and they're like, well, we're sticking with our numbers. So rather than kind of go through the discussion and the face-to-face and this is what I think, and I see your point here. Okay, I'll make that adjustment. You make that adjustment. It's like we're sticking with our number. So now it's like 1,000 versus 62,500 when it's maybe $500,000. But if you back it off, you say maybe 329,000. What do? At that point, it's either appraisal or it's you have to take them to court.
I would sue. Yeah, that I would sue first and then back into an appraisal. But yeah, that's so tough. So Joe, I know you don't fight as hard as some of us do. What are your thoughts here as far as and not just the rebels? I think as an industry, we need to have a playbook and we need to use it, but using things like this, letters like this, attaching letters like this in every single correspondence we have with third parties. What are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you know your numbers, if you know that you billed correctly and accounted for everything and it's a justifiable bill, there's absolutely zero reason to placate, to entertain these conversations with these TPAs. Now, I say that with a grain of salt because, and Andy, you can attest to this, they prey and they feed off of those people who don't know what the hell they're doing 100%. And You know, we get a lot of times, you know, I see estimates come across my board all the time where people ask me to review and stuff, and I'm like, you know, here's this issue, this issue, this issue. And it's not, you know, a lot of those there, I mean, some of them are, I'll admit, some of the people you deal with can be, for lack of a better phrase, an asshole. But a lot of the people are honestly trying to, I mean, I feel like they're trying to, they, at least in their minds, are coming across saying, I'm just trying to make sure that this estimate is correct. And that, you know, you didn't build incorrectly, you didn't use, you know, remove drywall, you know, DRY removal instead of WTR or something. And they're checking it for validity. But oh, I don't know if it promoted me. Let me see if it promoted me real quick here. I'm sure Andy will be back in just a minute. Oh, God, yes, so Andy will be back in a minute. I mean, the problem though with the TPAs though is that at the end of the day, they have no fucking right at all whatsoever. Even if your bill is wrong, they have no right to talk to you about your bill. You know, if somebody has an issue with your bill, if they feel that you're way overpriced or that you're wrong, there's specific guidelines worked into the policy for appraisal. For example, send it to appraisal. If you think that I'm overbilling or I'm unjust in my billing, send it to appraisal. We all, you know, we all will honor our appraisers and stuff, and we do and all, but effectively these TPAs are trying to work in this gray shadow realm of negotiating out bills without being adjusters and doing appraisals without having to invoke appraisal. And it's bullshit. It really is bullshit. And even if you're not a member of a TPA program vendor list, you still get hit up by them and treated in the exact same manner. And I know for a lot of people, it is one of the most frustrating things they can go through.
If it didn't work, they wouldn't do it.
Well, that's where you got to realize they feed off the idea that, hey, if 8 out of 10 people respond to us and we lower the bill down a little bit, it's worth it.
Yep.
You know, I don't hardly ever respond to them on stuff and all. Andy obviously doesn't either, and you don't have to. But they purposely present these emails and they present it in a fashion where, well, if you don't talk to me, then I can only validate, you know, $10,000 of this estimate, even though it's 20 grand. So that's all I'm going to tell the adjuster he should have to pay. And it's like, and a lot of people get nervous and they're like, oh, whoa, wait, you can't do that. But I feel like I'm going to have to say this all over again when Sandy gets back in here. But, you know, they do. They feed on this mentality that if they scare tactic you into thinking you have to work with them, or else they're going to tell the adjuster that your bill is only 50% and that's all he's going to pay. But at the end of the day, okay, tell the adjuster you're only going, my bill valid is only for 50%. Go right ahead. It ain't going to bother me because the insurance is not paying my bill. The adjuster or the homeowner is, and you know, that's all I can tell you about it. I'm trying to let Andy get back in here for a minute here.
Mhm.
I think it has something to do with living in Washington, that his computer never works because it's always crashing.
Those dang mountains.
But you know, it's one of those things where, like I said, I mean, effectively, if someone has a problem with your estimate, look, if you want to talk to me about the scope of work outlined in this estimate and you feel that I incorrectly scoped the work out, that's one thing. But you know, and that's what they do. They like to use that. Oh, the scope is wrong, you know. But occasionally they'll get you on. Oh, your prices are off. You're not allowed to talk to me about my price. You're not an adjuster. You know, it's one of the biggest issues. If you have a problem with my scope of work, yeah, let's talk about it. Like if the price goes down, okay, not a problem. If the price goes down because I agree, I outlined my scope wrong. But if you just are telling me that you're not going to pay because of pricing, send me to appraisal. Like you have no say so on my price whatsoever. And in fact, even though I was at $10,000, this job is $10,000. I might have misestimated the line items on it. and I'll revise them, but I know some people even that will just be like, I don't care, like, it's still $10,000, I'll make the scope read right. But it's an epidemic where, the only thing it does is it benefits the carrier in the long run.
So I'm at an advantage because on my side of the business, there are not that many people doing what I do. So we haven't gotten to the point where they're arguing over my bills, okay? They're arguing over what my calculations say. So I'm like, I don't know, 10 to 15 years behind you guys.
I have a quick question. During your negotiation process, and you're right, this what you do, I didn't even know it existed. You know, we just kind of took everything at face value in terms of business interruption and ran with it. How much of your negotiation is in turn education towards the adjuster or PA or whoever it is?
Well, the way it works is the adjuster really, they're bricks and sticks guys. They don't know financials, they don't know numbers. So what happens is they hire an accountant, somebody that says they know how to do this, and they defer to them. And the way it works is these companies that do the kind of work that I do, they have like a standard model that they use, and then they cram the numbers of every single claim they get into the one model that they have. And the problem is they don't understand the business. They don't know how it runs. They don't know how a tank farm is different from a hotel, from a grocery store, from a restaurant. And they just force fit all this stuff in there. And they get a number, and then they say, oh, well, you know, you've got saved expenses. I mean, I'm not going to get into the sausage making, but I mean, the way I do my work is I do it exactly the way the policy says. And then when they don't like my number, what I do is I take their numbers and I put it into exactly the way the policy states. And when I do that, it's very apparent that their revenue is too small and their expenses are way too high. And then they say, well, we don't like your numbers, and you know, we're not going to raise what we think the business income is. And that's where I end up with every claim. And then you go back to the policyholder and you say, what do you want to do? I got you from $1,500 to $62,500. I calculated close to $500,000, but you know, if you take every single objection and everything that they're objecting to, it should be $329,000. What do you want to do? You want to take the 62.5, or do you want to take them to appraisal?
Yeah,
That's
quick question.
really how it's going now.
Sorry about that, folks.
So
This is going to be the last time I use Zoom. I'm going to find a different solution for this next week because it's not my computer. All right, David, go ahead. Sorry, man.
No worries. I was just going to ask, when you hit that crossroad and the insurance company and their resident experts, usually just, you know, pencil pushers who have this standard model they use for any industry, which is stupid, but do they end up submitting their own financials and historical data to prove your point? Is that available to them, or what's the action you take?
It's not available to them. That's the thing. They pull all their data out of their asses. It's the only person working with the real data is the insured and somebody like Andrew Saul.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I'm sorry, not the property owners, but the business owners. That's what, and the policy people.
Yeah. The business owner has that data, and part of Andrew's process is he shares that data with his model to the carrier, but the carrier and their experts choose to ignore it. And they come up with their own model and their own data based on just broad brush bullshit they pull out of their asses. And the same thing happens on the construction side, right? When I get a ward law guy or gal, usually, that says, well, according to S500, you should have blah, 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 blah. But the plain and simple fact is the S500 has a very limited scope of what it talks about and doesn't talk about billing. It doesn't talk about estimating.
Yeah, and then also I think the first within the first paragraph, it states in bold that this is simply a recommendation. So the S500 only holds enough water, no pun intended, to guide folks into, you know, knowing what to do in certain situations. And not to back to Joe's point regarding TPAs and parties, I think, well, first and foremost, they're successful because restorers aren't. They're first off, they're all focused on one thing, and that's getting cash flow going and minimizing delay. So when a TPA has exceptions, regardless of who they are, they're not putting pressure on the contractor to make a change or risk getting you know, their payment further delayed. So what do they mostly do if they're not educated or informed of what the proper procedure to handle them is fold whatever,
They
get it
cave.
paid. I just need to make payroll.
I got to make payroll.
Which is understandable. It's understandable. And I think, in my opinion, I've only been in the game for 5 years. I came from banking, and what I've seen as I've gone on my own as a freelancer estimator is that the restoration industry is truly the fucking Wild West. You get all types of restorers with different levels of experience and procedures on how to handle losses. No two restorers are the same. And what ends up happening is sometimes their billing and documentation is inaccurate. And in the insurance world, inaccuracies lead to losses, further losses.
Yep.
So that's why the TPAs are effective. They check that at the door. It's not really the insurance carrier's fault, but it's the contractors. And I think I read some time ago there was some statistical data saying that new restorers, 90% of new restorers fail within 5 years, right? For XYZ reasons. What that means is there's a lot of turnover in the industry. They see high margins, they jump in, and they don't know what to do. And you have a lot of fluff going in as bills. So
well, it's not just restoration. It's not just restoration. And I think the number is closer to 80, but the real number is 80% of all businesses that are started don't last 5 years.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And you know, it's something like 80% at 5 years, but 50% don't last 2 years. And that's just new businesses in general. And one of the downsides of our industry is there's the barriers to entry are very low. Yeah. Right there, except for specific states, there's no specific licensure required. In some states, you don't even need a contractor's license to do this work if you're just doing mitigation. So that leads to the carpet cleaners that say, "Hey, well, I'm going to do some insurance work now." I'm going to agree with you partially, David, in that we have some culpability as an industry in the problem, but we don't. The 100% of the culpability does not lie on us. Right. Restore right here asks a good question. One of the things I've seen in the group struggles to present the information to the consumer. With that being said, when TPAs show up and attempt to negotiate, the restorer attempts to dispute respond, but TPA will close the assignment to an undisputed amount, and the restorer struggles or will not get paid the full amount due to lack of presenting the gathered information. I think that once again, I'm gonna agree with you. That comment from Restore Right I wish he had his real name. Partially, I agree with that. What we need to realize as an industry as a whole is that we don't owe them shit. But once we agree with them, once we start playing along in the game and saying, oh, well, they asked me for my dry logs, so I'm going to present my dry logs. They asked me for this, they asked me that, I'm going to present it to them. As soon as you start playing that game, you have, without saying so, you have agreed with their premise that you are trying to do something wrong or you are doing something inaccurately.
The biggest problem in our industry is anybody can go take a water class and learn how to dry a house. Demo's easy.
Sorry, Louise, thanks, man. Thanks for that comment.
It's learning how to set up, how much equipment to set up. That's all very simple. That's why our lowest guys on the totem pole are young, 20-year-olds and stuff that are, young and able to do the back-breaking work and all, and they can do it fairly successfully. Are they always great at it? No. But the biggest problem in our industry is that we all have, because of the ease of the program like Xactimate, we've allowed Xactimate to become the standard for the industry, but we have not held Xactimate and Verus themselves to a higher standard of providing
good point
competent and even training across the board to everybody. The insurance carriers have they don't ever, you go out and you become an XCT trainer and then you train how you want. Not even the trainers, all the trainers train the same way. There's some people out there that are XCTs that I don't think are worth a damn. Others of them that I think, left and right all day long, But, that's where, it's one thing to validate and say, this is my scope of work, here's what needs to be done. But a lot of times how that translates into the billing aspect of it is where these TPAs live at, because you don't know how to use Xactimate the right way and you've built it incorrectly. You've used the wrong calculation or whatever. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm happy, I'm at 20 grand. But maybe you shouldn't actually be at times. And that's where they're playing that field at there. And
right.
I wish Xactimate would do a more, hold them to the coals and have a more accurate training process that everybody has to go through, because you can just buy Xactimate with no training.
There's the key word. Everyone has to go through. I made it 22 years in this industry without taking one Xactimate class. I was self-taught. And what you just said plays into David's point is in that you've got guys that just don't know how to do it.
Well, and I mean, that's the thing is we have the industry as a whole has such a high turnover rate. People get tired, they get burnt out. They got 3 years under their belt and they want to run out and do it on their own now and stuff. I mean, there's so many different.
They're getting paid $12 an hour to do mitigation work.
So you have all these people who are not sticking around. I mean, I've got 20 years in the industry, 15 writing Xactimate. Of course, I know what I'm doing at this point because I have enough experience in it, but most people have 2-3 years at the most doing the program or being a water tech and all. And it's hard to, that's like I said, that's why a lot of people have such issues and why the TPAs just eat it up with a spoon is because, I mean, I looked at a gentleman's estimate the other day and stuff, and I picked out I gave him 1 hour of my time and I probably gave him 45 errors that I saw in his estimate, whether it was incorrectly calculated and incorrect, you have it as, replace stove. Well, stove's a contents item, so you need to charge it for install only because that the purchased material needs to go on the content side of the coverage instead. It's all these little things that people just don't realize they're doing right or wrong, and that's where it is. But like I said, if you are confident, if you can stand behind your scope of work, like I said, if the TPA comes at you, you want to talk about my scope of work, what do you not agree with? Let's talk about that. Don't worry about the price. Do we agree on the scope of work? Great. That's the price is what it is.
And that's the thing is it's beginning with the end in mind. It's starting out on a good foundation on all these things that we learn in college or whatever. We need to have a basis. We need to have a starting point for our industry, a starting point of a base understanding of this is who we are. This is who they are. These are the rules of engagement. This is how we're going to proceed. But we have an entire industry that doesn't understand who they are, doesn't understand who the opposite side is at all, and has no clue what the rules of engagement are. And so it is the Wild West, to David's point. It's stupid.
And I mean, it is,
Yeah.
like I said, a lot of people don't understand how the insurance process works. If you don't like my scope of work, we can talk about it. Whatever the price is, that's the price though. If you don't like my price, call for appraisal. Otherwise, pay me my fucking money and let me get on to the next job. Like, I don't have time.
But the other 90% of the industry is like, oh, well, I didn't know you could change the price. I
Mhm.
thought we're using Xactimate because we've all agreed to this price. No, we haven't.
And don't know better. And I think another issue, just to chime in,
Go ahead. Now.
in my experience, is not enough restorers network with other restorers. So they're in this bubble.
That's the fundamental principle of this entire group. We've got to get
agree.
together. Yes.
And guys, seriously, like, I mean,
I'm sorry. No, David wasn't done. David,
sorry.
you had some more to say. Go ahead.
No, that's all I was gonna say. Is just there's plenty of work for everyone. I don't believe. I mean, part of the tenets of this group is that other stores are not competition, and I fully agree with that. I, for example, am helping this woman who had zero restoration experience. She was a real estate agent in Sacramento. She bought a Service Master franchise.
I've worked for a real estate agent that started a Service Master franchise.
Completely out of her element. I'm helping her with the most basic, just figuring out how to write physically write in English a scope. Right. And she had networked with other Service Master restorers.
Oh.
But they weren't too helpful because they're keeping everything close to the chest.
Yes,
and 1 hour conversation with her, I opened the doors. It's like, hey, you don't have to, bend over for this insurance carrier. Just deal with the homeowner directly. If it gets bad and ugly, some of the same strategies that a lot of folks here in this group use, and it's changed her business. She's actually profitable now.
It's not a strategy.
It's a real.
It's a philosophy. It's not a strategy. It's a philosophy.
Right.
It's a way of being.
Mm-hmm. And everyone treats everything different. For example, I was listening to this consultant named Chad Michaels out of Florida, and he handles construction a little differently. He kind of just
we could have 2 hours on Chad Michaels, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do you guys know him? Okay.
Oh
yeah.
Yes.
There's some good stuff. There's some stuff I'm just like, oh, that sounds like a nightmare. Like just folding over and submitting a supplemental. I don't have a year to waste to do that sometimes. So it's.
I don't have a year to wait to get paid. Yes.
No. So there's some, everyone has different experiences and different philosophies.
Well, and you also have to realize, like, a lot of the people don't quite understand this, that even though we all are using Xactimate, there's multiple different industries within the industry. For example, with water mitigation companies, we're all about writing a full estimate up front, trying to get everything on the repair estimate. We don't send them over until that estimate looks cherry as hell.
It's an invoice, dude.
Yeah.
It's an invoice.
And
just that alone, just calling it an invoice is huge.
Yeah, whereas, if
can we get on the same page? Can we get on the same page with that?
If you're on the roofing side of the industry for the restoration work, those guys take the money that the adjuster gave the homeowner, get them to sign the paperwork, and then supplement the living shit out of them 50-60% of what the original, addition to what the original bill is. And that's how they live. And I don't get that. Like, there's no reason as a professional who sees this every day and writes an Xactimate and knows how the job goes, that I shouldn't be providing my estimate up front, telling the homeowner, look, your adjuster gave you 12 grand. I'm telling you right now, it's $17,000. Let's make sure, if you want, if you don't want to pay it and you want the adjuster to review it first, let's do that before I do this roof on. Otherwise, I'm going to come back to you and tell you, you owe me my, $5,000 extra and all, because I can't guarantee the adjuster is going to pay for it. Like back
to David's point is we've done it to ourselves, and we've allowed contractors like that to persist. Like the guy that is going to take that money, he's going to take, okay, what they pay you? Okay, I'll take that. And then they're going to do the work. Like these roofers, they'll replace their roof. And they know that they've got their costs covered in a little profit, probably. But then they're going to do the roof, and then they're going to supplement after the fact and try to get more money from the insurance company. And those guys, in my opinion, deserve to be buried, right? You did the work. You took money and did the work. You didn't look at the job and say, okay, it's going to take another $10,000. We're not going to do the work until we get another $10,000. No, that'd be the honest way to do it. The dishonest way is what you just said, Joe, is this supplement game. There's an entire subset of the industry, especially roofers, that do this supplement game, and I think it's dishonest.
I'm a firm believer, first off, that on an average basis, supplements should not have to account for more than 10% of what your estimate was on an average basis. Because, if I do a roof, I'm going to keep going on roof here for a second here. I put in my estimate, replace Valley Metal. I'll leave it as an open line item, and I'll with the zero bounds and have a note. We can't validate this Valley Metal needs to be replaced until the roof's off. But if so, we'll get documentation. But at least that's on my estimate on day one when I send to the adjuster. Be aware this might come into play, and it's but these guys are not giving notice. They're not.
Zero notice. It's supplementing they're ambushing the supplements. That's what they're doing. They're ambushing, and some of these guys are getting AOBs, and they're saying, oh, if you don't pay this supplement, we're going to sue you. Those are the types of people that are making our lives harder because it's just a dishonest business model.
And I'd say the
Are they even actually getting paid?
Say that again.
That's my question. Are they actually getting it paid? That's my question. Like
some of them are
going after.
Some are, some aren't.
Well, enough of them are that it propagates. Enough of them are that this is still a thing.
Well, I'm a firm believer, whether you want to call it good business or bad, this is your guys' choice there. But I'm a firm believer that I'd rather come in high and tell my homeowner at the end of the day, hey, we didn't have to do as much, bill came down, than to come back and say, hey, I need more money. And like there was a post in the group today about somebody asking about, what's a good way to word my opening statement where it says, this is all only for the physical damage we can see, and it doesn't include any unforeseen damage. Look, if after 5 years of doing work in this industry, if you don't know for a fact that there's insulation behind that wall and you're probably going to have to take it out, you ain't paid attention to shit while working. You should be able to write up a pretty damn good estimate, mark it at 4 or 5 days, and say, hey, if it gets dry sooner, I won't charge you as much. If
Joe, I'm going to take that one step further. I'm going to say that language doesn't belong in a fucking Xactimate. It belongs in your goddamn contract. If you don't have that language in your contract with you, because Xactimate is not your contract. Xactimate is an addendum. Xactimate is it's like C attached, right? That's the Xactimate. Xactimate is C attached. Your contract language should say, hey, what we can't see, we can't estimate, there might be more. But if it's not in your contract, dude, you're screwing yourself. I got no sympathy.
But it is. It's one of those things where I get people all the time. How should I go about going?
David looks like he disagrees a little bit. What's up?
Oh, no. That's good. I'm just
okay.
It is one of those things though. Like I get so many times I see people posting, how do I go about giving an estimate for mitigation? I don't know what all needs to be done.
You don't.
You're always going to have an element of unknown in every job, but you should be able to probably a seasoned or mitigation water tech can go on a job and pretty much guess what the hell they need to do and be fairly accurate, and only the adjusters, only the insurance carrier adjusters cannot estimate for things they can't see. They can say, okay, the drywall's in place and it's got to come out cool. They can't write for the insulation behind there because they can't physically see it and validate it.
No, they actually cannot. They're required to omit the things they can't see. They cannot they can't use any of their experience to write.
But
That's
can-
their rule. But we
But we
can.
can.
Exactly right.
You know, and if I give a homeowner, like I said, homeowner, every time someone says they need a water mitigation estimate, okay, I'll send it 5 days. If it dries sooner, it might be less. If for some reason it's gonna go over this here, you know, my contracts have a $5,000 buffer. Be aware that right now, this contract you're signing, it has a $5,000 buffer on it. If for some reason though it decides to go over that, we'll stop what we're doing. We'll come talk to you and see how you want us to proceed. But you sign my contract, you realize it's $5,000. It might be less, but it won't exceed $5,500 without notice to you and you signing a change order. And
Sure, that's fair.
I mean, it's the way that I mean, like I said, if you can't figure out, these cabinets are probably gonna have to come out, and you know, there's drywall, you know, obviously the drywall behind there got wet. So you know, like, you don't have to do invasive demo inspections to know what the hell needs to be done, you know. And I feel like everybody is so afraid to give the big number and come back and say, hey, I don't need more. You know, people love it if you say, I need 10,000, give me 10,000, and then actually you only owe me 8. People love you. But people think that if you come down and say, I need $10,000 and you could have wrote an estimate for 6,000 instead, and later on came to it, that's where, you know, they think that homeowner is going to kick you away because you came in too high. You know, I mean, sometimes that will happen, but I mean.
All right, Louise asked a question. He said, this is where I believe the group will benefit from a guide broken down, example, mitigation, Xactimate, rebuild, etc. Louise, please expand on that. I'm not sure what you're trying to say.
He's asking.
Yeah, I agree. Like the
like-
group
Like
would
generic
benefit from a
mitigation
simple.
estimates, how do you
Sorry.
estimate?
Yeah, just a general FAQ. I've noticed that there's a lot of repeat questions.
The problem
A
is
lot
it's
of
really
newer
hard. It's
restorers.
really hard to do that without antitrust issues because I can't.
No, I don't think it is. I don't
I
think
mean,
it is.
The S500 tells you how to do the work. Me showing you how to bill it can be viewed a little bit at times like.
Are we talking? But we're not talking about pricing.
No,
But
as long as
people are wanting to
it's
see
active
like
line
an
items.
example of the
Yeah.
line item.
Calling out Xactimate line items is not calling out pricing, because we are well within our rights to change that pricing or adjust that pricing as we see fit.
Yeah, I think as long as we don't actually, if we don't discuss dollars, that shouldn't be an issue, in my opinion.
And that's
So
one of those
antitrust.
things.
We're discussing methodology, just like what is the best way to frame in a window? Yeah, I don't know. What's the best way to write cabinets in Xactimate? It's the same thing. It's methodology. We're not talking about pricing. We're not talking about getting together and saying we are going to charge X. We're getting together and saying this is a standard of care.
And it's
This
all about
is the proper way to estimate something.
It's about the terminology more than anything. Because if somebody says, well, that's how Joe charges, then that's an issue. But if you're coming, well, that's how the program's intended to be used. And I learned that from Joe. That's a completely different thought process. And it's a very slippery slope from everything I've researched on it. You know?
It could be.
It sounds to me like a big issue you guys are facing is education. You've got a lot of people in the industry that don't know what the hell they're doing. And I'll tell you what,
I agree.
I had an idea and I'm going to start this in the next couple weeks. I mean, there are very few people that do what I do. Nobody understands it. I'm not going to offer courses and charge you guys $300 to learn how to do a business income claim. Because
about 3,000.
But what I'm going to start
you're pricing too low.
in the next couple weeks is I'm thinking about starting like an office hours thing where I'm going to get on Zoom and I'm going to be there for 20 minutes on a Tuesday morning. And anybody that dials in that's got a business income question, or the adjuster said this, what do I need to do? I can tell them what they need to look for in the policy. I mean, one of the big things they say is if you have a negative net income, that you have no business income loss. And that almost always is false. But
it's false. Yep.
they use that as a go away. So
Yeah.
I'm realizing that for me, you guys have said that there's enough business to go around, that you guys really aren't in competition. And if you guys aren't in competition, I have no competition whatsoever. The problem is people don't know that there are people like me out here to help them do their claim. And so I'm thinking about just doing a quick, dial in once a week for 20 minutes, like a professor's office
You
hours,
should.
and say, if I can't answer the question, I'll call some of my BI guys, and next week I'll have an answer for you. Call
You
back.
should. And that was the intent of this whole thing that we're doing today. The roundtable was, hey, we're here. We've got a bunch of experience in the room. Get in here, ask your questions. Let's solve the problem. And what you said, Andrew, at the beginning of what you just said was education. We are starting at zero with
Yep.
every new client, because the vast majority of clients we have as restorers, this is their first claim.
Yeah.
Ever. This is their first claim. We are educating them, because the carrier's not educating them. The adjuster's job is not to educate them on the claim process. So we are starting at zero with every new insured, and every new restorer, we're starting at zero. And it becomes exhausting for us that have been around for a long time. That's our problem, right? It's exhausting. Okay, my bad. It's on us. But the reality is we have to have such a base level of I think David, you're right. The FAQ, or Louise, or I think David said FAQ. That's a great thing to have. But that FAQ, after 5 years of doing this, or 6 years, how long has this group been around? It's going to be a fucking encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the other problem, one of the other biggest problems is that nobody can really agree overall. And, if Xactimate themselves will not weigh in with a concrete answer ever. Here's a great example, Andy, because you weren't here.
We cannot
for it.
agree.
Well, okay, here's a great example. I'm gonna grab screen for a second here, guys. Let me open up a file real quick here.
Grab the screen. You are co-host.
All right,
You have earned it.
So this past week, for all you guys, some of you probably saw it in the group, in Ninja's group that I'm in, that for Xactimate's writing stuff.
If you want to know Xactimate, get into the Xactimate Ninjas group. Great group, led by the fine fellows at Actionable Insights.
Yeah. All right. So here's the question I have for you, and I'm going to start off by talking about the line item, and then I'm going to ask you my question here. So here's what the line item says: additional charge for high roof 2 stories or greater. Additional labor costs for lost productivity on a high roof due to accessibility and extra safety precautions. Charge to be applied only to the area of roof that is 2 stories or higher.
Yes.
Pretty self-explanatory, right?
Yes.
So my question was to the group: is it possible to have a high charge on a 1-story home?
Yes.
That's what I thought. And, for example, and everyone kept telling me it's all based on like this here house here. Everyone I had people literally, like I had to talk to some of the admins a little bit. I was like, I pissed some people off here. It looks like everyone.
Look at the slope on that thing.
Everyone is trying to say, oh, it's based on the eave access, which do you at all in this description see any word in here about the word eave anywhere? No,
Nope.
Not at all. So my argument was that on a roof like this here, even though the eave access is 8 foot, here's floor 1, here's floor 2. So everything from this peak here up should all be high charges, regardless of the access point being way down here. That's how I read it.
Yes, I agree.
If I'm looking at this roof here, here's your 2-story line on this gamble here. So not only would these dormers, but the 2 top slopes of the gamble would be considered high charges.
Yes.
And we're not even going to talk about the Manfred sides here, where it's a pain in the ass to do those hands, but those would be high.
That's a fused spine waiting to happen.
you know, on, let's see here, which one was it? This here, you know, I would say everything from about right this line right here. Well, I would say
No.
everything this line
Nope.
here.
Nope. Nope. Split that peak in the
I would-
front door down the middle.
This whole half here.
Everything to the left of that peak is
If it-
2 stories.
If it was me, I'm gonna sketch on here. If it was me and I was estimating this here, I would charge this half here all as high, and then I
Yes.
would charge all of this section
Yes.
here as
Yes.
high as well. And I'd only leave, and I wouldn't count this section here as high charges.
Okay. Yeah. I can get
You
behind that.
know,
I don't know. I think it could be
It-
argued since that slope falls off to the left-hand side of that peak. That left-hand side of that peak is over 2 stories.
yeah, but I mean, literally, it was like a 55 comment message on just this one line item. No, it's based on the eave height. If the eave height's more than 13 feet off the ground, then you can get, and I was like, no, because my favorite from our friend Thea, because, you know, she made
Who?
me that, Thea Tapston, one of their group members that she does a lot, she does a lot of comments with stuff with me on it. But my favorite one was, she said, let me find the picture here. Here it is. Let me save it.
What size monitor are you using?
32-inch.
Oh, I was like, man, it looks
She-
good.
She asked her, she said, so would a property like this not be valid for high charges and steep only because the eave is at 0 feet high? You know,
Good point,
one.
Thea. Good
But,
point.
you know, I mean,
Well
it's
played.
something literally as simple as that argument there, that literally was a heated argument to the point where people were telling me that I was an idiot, that I was embarrassing myself to even comment on that. Why would you even, you know, how stupid can you be? And it's like, depending on who you are, it either makes sense or, you know, and on a lot of the carriers there, a lot of the carrier adjusters in the group are like, no, that's not it. It has to be more than 13 feet off the ground. And I was like, bullshit. I'm higher. There's no way I'm getting on this roof here and going to be working higher than this level right here.
Well, let's cut to the chase. What are the dollars we're talking about here? What's the add-on per square foot of roof?
Well, I mean, it is.
Is it per square or per square foot?
It's per
It's per
square. It's
square.
$20 per square.
$18.
And then
You're gonna give me a hard time about the 2 squares, the $40 worth of additional charges on this fucking roof. Man, I will arm wrestle you.
$20 additional charge. Yeah. And I mean, like I said, it was a hot and heavy, heated debate about people to the point, like I
I
said,
will throw boogers and
Yeah.
spitballs.
but it's that simple of a, I mean, it's that simple of a thing that people can't agree on. And like I said, this literally says apply to only the area of the roof that is 2 stories above grade. That's why, you know, the one, this one here, this is grade down here. So this is 2 stories. So then, you know, I mean, that's why.
Guess what? I'm gonna make a custom price list that makes a whole fucking roof so expensive that I don't need high charges.
You know, but it's one of the things, like, if we don't have anybody that, I mean, we don't have a controlling entity body, because it's all based on a program. Verus doesn't want to invest in it. They want these trainers to train their ways, and everyone has their own opinions on it. And it is, I don't know if anyone knows, it's hard for new people to get out there to do training stuff because it's intimidating. Like, I would love to be an XCT trainer. Hell, I don't even care if I'm a certified trainer. Like, I'd have no problem training classes, but
I can't afford to be an XCT trainer.
it is terrible. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to put myself out here to strangers on the Facebook all day long. If I don't like what you say, I'll mute your comments. Not a big deal. It's the terrifying prospect to say, hey, guys, I want to hold a class and let you know who all would like to join and, you know, ask for money or not. I don't know yet, but you know, it's a terrifying thing. You know, what if no one shows up and then you look embarrassed? I mean, it's why we don't have a large amount of new people coming in to do this training stuff. But I mean, it's that simple of like, which is the line items to use on these things, and nobody wants to agree because everybody has a different way of writing. I mean, Andy, you can see all my estimates. No one writes the estimates the way I write them.
Yeah. And I would argue everyone Yeah, you're right. Everyone writes it differently. So David, you said you are you're writing Xactimate. So how long have you been doing that?
About 5 years. I got my feet wet, just managing accounts. Realized that the software is super simple. Watched a few YouTube videos and realized that it's just plug and play, and benefited from a training from Ben Isaacson, I think his name is, out in Washington. I don't remember
John
his last name.
Isaacson or Ben Justison?
Ben Justison, that's right.
They're both out of Washington. Yes.
I need you
Are
to,
they? Okay.
not to be rude interrupting here, but Andy, I need you to understand my old lady is trying to kill me. She literally just came up and gave me a jumbo bag of pork rinds and then
Oh,
just
and
walked away, said nothing, just dropped them
just
next to me and
walked
walked away.
away.
Here you go.
Here's a bag of
That's
death.
a good one. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah.
So
So,
are
yeah,
you
that was
working
for
for-
sure. That was that.
Are you working for a restorer in your day job, or are you just doing this Xactimate full time?
So it's Xactimate full time.
Okay.
I'm salaried part time with a service master in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And then I just I get hired on as a consultant with whoever gives me a call.
Do
basically.
you you don't live in the Bay Area? Where do you live?
No, I'm in the Central Coast of California. I don't know if you know where Pismo Beach is.
I do.
I'm a few minutes from there.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful, man. I love it.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
love
so
it.
that's my story, and just got really excited with the industry. I love arguing, so this was a natural transition for me.
You gotta love arguing to
and
be an estimator.
yeah, you won't make it if you can't, you know, if you can't relegate in victory,
Mm,
right?
mm.
So anyways, yes, so that's what I do. I feel like I'm still learning something every day. I'm excited to actually see what's up with the Xactimate ninjas. I feel, and through my networking, that every Xactimate estimator feels like they're God's gift to restoration. So everyone kind of has their own, style, and feels like they're correct. So I can see why there's
on that point. I mean,
butting
we're
heads.
like 20, we're almost 30 minutes beyond time. So this is our time. This is the three of us. Now we just get to bullshit. So
Sweet.
I this story replays itself time and time again in this industry, in that the estimator or the person with the most experience in Xactimate becomes the key holder. They get their companies by the balls. And when they leave, these companies struggle hard. I have a case in point, a current client who used to use me in Claims Delegates for remote estimating. They hired an in-house person to take over that role. And then that person turned out to be toxic and almost torpedoed their entire company. He called me yesterday. Hey, I got a problem. I let him go. I got 40 files that mitigations we've done. I need you guys' help. So we're knee deep in that. But these estimators, we really control the purse strings, because what we write, they collect. And that power dynamic, a lot of people underestimate. So,
Well, and the
you're
other
100%
problem
correct.
is that
Sometimes it feels like you're printing money.
Oh, dude, I've said
Go
that
ahead,
1,000
Joe,
times. We print money. That's my job. I print fucking money.
Yeah.
That's also,
I enjoy. Go ahead. Sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
you're fine, buddy.
Go
You're
ahead.
fine. I'm bad about interrupting people. The only other thing that sucks though is that like people don't understand the value of a solid good estimator. And that's where it hurts us.
Because they don't know, they wouldn't know a good estimate if they slapped them in the face.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though, is like most companies across the country, on average, I'm sure someone's gonna be like, it's not that way in my area. On average, if you're starting off as a project manager estimator in the management side of things, you're starting off about $50,000 to $60,000 a year. And most companies are going to have you max out about 70, maybe 80 or so $1,000 a year, unless you do large loss commercial shit. Otherwise,
fully loaded with burden. That person's going to cost you about $100,000.
$100,000.
You're going to put them in a car. You're going to give them insurance. Blah 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 blah.
which equates out to about $48 an hour on a 52-hour week. And we all know that they're going to work a shit ton of overtime
Mhm.
and then bitch about not getting their bonus or not getting their, and stuff. But estimators like what Andy does, what I do, what we do is the reason why we do. I mean, that's why commission is or percentage base is popular for the most part, or Andy has a high number. There's a value to that. And one of the biggest disadvantages that I've been seeing, especially on the Facebook groups, is the amount of people who say, I'll do it for $75 an hour because now I'm making twice as much as I do at my daytime job and it's just a side gig. And they're making everybody feel like when you come to them and say the national average for a third-party estimator should be about $150 an hour. That's like starting off, and they're devaluating the industry with these crappy, or not crappy, but people that think they know what they're doing, and then they're not getting the results they want.
The problem with that is that if someone's doing this on the side, and we are being very selfish here, and I am not ashamed. All right, all three of us are going to benefit from this conversation here. The problem is the people doing things on the side don't have any overhead. The company they're working for carries their overhead. The company they're working for pays for that subscription to Xactimate, pays for that, probably that computer they're using to write your sheet. And at the end of the day, the age-old adage is you get what you pay for. I am not ashamed. I had this conversation with my co-founders. I'm starting a new business, starting a new company called Quick Check. I'm going to get a little prop out there. We're going to go mainstream here in about 4 weeks. We had a conversation about pricing today. And Joe, you're right. You do a percentage, right? That's fine. There's nothing wrong with a percentage. I don't like percentage because I don't like sharing in other people's risk. If I go on a percentage, I'm betting on my client's ability to go get paid. So you write $100,000 sheet, your client can only collect 80. Your client's going to tell you, well, I'm only going to pay you a percentage on 80.
And this
Right?
is what, that's why I do a split percentage. And then that way there, if you have issues, because like most people, those $75 people, you write it, they give it to you, you don't talk to them ever
You're
again.
done. Right.
Done.
Yeah, they're out.
People like Andy, people like me, Dave, probably you as well.
We will defend it.
We go through the process. Hey, I mean, I bill, like I said, I do a split where you pay me half up front when you're happy with the estimate. The other half is due 30 days later, 60 days later, depending on what we work out sometimes. And any revisions you need, let me know. If you have issues on validating this here, let me know. I'll help you. I'll help you argue the scope of work or the right usage of the program and everything to get my number, because that's why that's what I do. And it is, there's a lot of people out there, they're like $75, I'll do it for $100 even. And
no, I would challenge anyone out there writing Xactimate estimates right now to beat my rate. I'm at $165 an hour, and I am not ashamed because we are worth that and more.
I agree.
Yeah. Not to go
I
too
think the
deep
issue
into
that I
rates,
run
but
into-
so let's avoid all bullshit. David, are you north or south of that number? Do you charge
I'm actually
hourly or
north.
charge percentage?
I charge hourly. I charge $175 for this reason.
Thank you.
And I am also not ashamed to charge that because when I get hired, I'm not only estimating, I'm also consulting.
You're consulting.
In some form or fashion on whatever the scope is on the work they're doing.
Yep.
So a lot of the times I'm working with newer restorers, what I'm doing is I'm showing them how to prepare and compile a proper file that's easy for the adjuster to agree with in terms of the estimate.
I think
So if they have shit photos, like
I think
what
we
am I
all
gonna
can
do
agree
with
that
this, dude?
anytime
Like,
any of us get a brand new client, the first 4 to 5 jobs, the first 3 weeks of working with them, it's more of us almost kind of doing a crash course training them, like, here's what documentation you provide, not just for me to write it, but you'll want to give it to the
Right.
homeowner or carrier.
Oh, by the way, we need pictures. We need a sketch,
Yeah.
and we need a scope. It's
know,
incredibly hard to get all three out of the gate.
But
It
it is.
really
It's
is. It really is.
it really is. But I mean, the amount of people I talk to, I'm like, well, where's your photos at? Well, how do you want?
I didn't take none. I'm
know?
supposed to take pictures now.
I mean,
The
that's why
pictures
like,
of equipment. Why do I need that? Do you want to get paid? Do you not want to get paid? Then come on, dude. And so that's why I brought up that earlier point where I think the issue is because I mainly work with newer stores. That's who I want to work with. Just because it's easier for me because I have a lot of material that I can just shovel in their face. Be like, hey, do a quick read. This is how I work. This is how you'll benefit. And then I found that all these majority of these newer stores they just have no clue. They may have been techs for a few years. They went on their own venture, and they don't know how to handle insurance adjusters, and they wind up bending over, doing all the wrong things, not treating the client as the client, which is the homeowner, and just having a terrible philosophy on their billing and collection. So that's my main focus, and I found that's the main problem is we're handling the entire the systems that need to be in place on how to handle insurance claims are just all wrong for the most part in the industry, and that's because the insurance carriers are the big fish, and all the restorers are swimming on their own, and they believe they need to be on their own, and that they have no support. I don't have any experience with the RI. Go ahead.
Well, the carriers work very hard to come in and divide us. The carriers first, the first communication is, you're the only one that does this. And they divide
I love
us.
that.
Yeah.
And it's a good strategy. It works.
Yes,
and
it
then,
does.
On top of that,
That's why they keep doing it.
Vendors. So it sucks to be a little guy, to not know and not have the resources to go out to these conventions or the ability to even apply their limited time to network. I understand there's some organizations like the RIA, which I'm not a part of. I think I'm gonna get onboarded with them soon.
It's so cheap. Get it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Okay. But it would be nice to have an entity to just have maybe a section of the website with a few videos that are produced cheaply, just explaining, the process that maybe they can refer their clients over to.
Well, here's what we can do as the rebels that the RIA can't. We can guide people, and more importantly, Joe, tell me if I'm wrong, we can have an opinion. The RIA can't afford to have an opinion.
No, we learned that. We learned that in the spring, didn't we?
They can't afford to take a side. They have to be Switzerland, which I believe is bullshit. I mean, you say you represent restorers, but you can't take an opinion on how we should approach the market or how a market should be approached. So when did I start this group? 2015? 2016 or some shit. I have always taken a side. I will always take a side. I will always have an opinion, because in the lack of opinion, if you can't take a side, if you can't, what's the adage? If you can't stand up for something, you will fall for anything. And that's the problem the RIA has right now, is they're trying to play Switzerland in a game where Switzerland loses. Switzerland gets ground down to the ground.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So what do they do? What do they offer a restorer?
I mean, they're advocates. They're advocates. I mean,
that's a great question.
Effectively, they're kind of like lobbyists for our industry to help people try to better themselves.
But they're not kind of like. Here's the deal. I'm sorry. I'm Joe. I'm going to step in. The RIA has great potential. If we can get more restorers involved. Robert, why, it looks like you raised your hand. Robert.
Oh, I pushed the wrong button. Go ahead. I was listening.
Oh no, man. I want your input. We are way beyond time here, so this is all free time on us.
Well, I recently joined the RIA.
Okay.
And mostly just to get I read that, you get a community of other people to ask questions and everything else. And I think for me, the most beneficial part was some of the manuals they had. They offer some free templates of stuff. Other than that, like I'm going to get more detailed information here in this group than anything else. The last years that I found this, I forget when I joined. It was a couple years ago now. And then just in the backside, just watching, listening, and looking at stuff. It's been very helpful, more than that membership. But in the end of the day, I guess I'm part of the industry, just help supporting. Hopefully they're on our side.
RIA is great for networking. That's one of the best features of it. I met me
It
and Ed
is. But
both
how many
there.
members? How many members?
I don't even know at the top of my head.
I do.
A lot. A lot.
No, there's no members.
Not enough.
There's no members of RIA. There's 2,700. I think the number at the last in Orlando, they said just 2,750. If you hope, and guess what? The number of total restorers, you can ask a bunch of different people and get different bunch of different answers. It's about 55,000. There's 55,000 restorers in the country. The RIA represents, as a membership, 2,700. Yeah. So I believe in what the RIA wants to do, and what's the AGA stand for? Something government affairs. And Ed Cross. I don't want to take anything away from Ed Cross. I hope he sees this. I love you, man. You can't do what you need to do on a political lobbyist level with 2,700 paid members. You need 25,000 paid members. And that's a big reason why I've stepped into the RIA is like, let's push membership. We need more people. We need more rebels. We need the 8,700 rebels to join the 2,700 RIA members. And guess what? We're 10,000. Now we're doing some shit. But the problem lies in the messaging in RIA, in the timidness, is that a word? Of the RIA. They are not out there. They are not preaching. They can't say what I can say. And that's a problem.
Yeah, it really is. I think in a perfect world, and an RIA with a strong message, who's willing to really truly advocate for restorers, and get their support and ultimately funding to get lobbyists in DC, would go a long way.
Well, that's the thing. It's not lobbyists in DC, because insurance is handled on the state level. We have to have lobbyists in every single state. It takes money. It just takes money. The rebels, look at this free group in this $250 billion industry that has more influence and more sway and more communicating power than the leading restoration industry.
759 rebel members on the Facebook group. Just so you guys understand.
How many?
Can I get it? Hell yes.
8,759.
Good.
Congrats, guys. I mean, I think it's working. Just based off all of the newer members really chiming in, and I kind of followed a post here earlier today, and within minutes there were a variety of answers for someone who's new in the game. This is what a new person in the industry needs.
Exactly.
I think, I have a couple buddies who are starting companies. The first thing I told them to do was to join this group. Just because it's such a good resource.
Yeah, that's my first thing. Is someone reach out to me and they're in restoration? That's my first question. Have you seen the Restoration Rebels? Because guess what? We've been keeping it real and telling it straight since 2015. And that has resonated. This is still a free group. I mean, this is still like, that's what boggles my wife is pissed. My wife does not like this group because I spend a lot of time here. and she does not see the ROI of this group. But I see the ROI of this industry by being a part of something like this group.
Mhm. For sure. I think if we were able to collect 10% of the industry knowledge and disperse that through the group, whoever joins the group will see that those returns. I mean, just knowing a competent estimator, from my experience, can bump up revenue 30 to 40%. That's my average at this point.
Minimum.
Just because
minimum.
I'll see these estimates come in. I do a comparative estimate review during my onboarding process, and I'm just here cha-ching when I see them, because I'm like, okay, dude, we're good. I got you. Let's just go through this one first job and see how it goes.
All right, David,
And,
put your website or your email in the chat. Joe, do the same.
Sure. Yeah, let me punch it in. I feel that it's just exposure that's really holding the group back at this point.
There you go. There you go.
As long as you get it
Restoration
out there.
Solutions. That's a rebrand. I love it. It's a rebrand.
Oh, yeah. You know how close I was going with like average Joe estimating or something, but then I was like, probably people will think theyese are crappy estimates.
You should have
That's a
gone
good
with
one. I spoke with Gmail
average
account.
Joseph. Average Joseph. That'd have been a thing.
But
Joe Schmo.
Joe. Oh, yeah. Joe
Yeah.
Schmo.
It's like, just a regular guy that knows
All right,
his shit.
so my hope and dream is I will hire both of you to work for QuickCheck. I'm putting that out there in the universe. I'm setting an intention in the universe because the machine that I'm building, I think is unlike anything that's ever been done. So I will keep you posted. Joe knows more than you, David, obviously, because Joe and I talk. We talk sometimes.
So what's QuickCheck? What are you trying to accomplish with QuickCheck?
QuickCheck takes a holistic approach to the claim process from a restorer's perspective. And it starts with what we call UDI, Uniform Dispatch Integration. We want our estimators on the phone, or at least connected in some way, Slack or whatever communication device. We want our estimators connected with a water damage technician on site on day one, because it is a fundamental fact that the facts and data collected in the water damage mitigation process in the first 3 days determine how the rest of that claim is going to go. So we want to be on the phone. We know full well, like you just said, David, most of these guys are new. Most of these guys are brand fucking new. They don't know what they don't know. We want an experienced WTR and ASD certified estimator on the phone with that water damage technician while he's on site. Before he leaves the site that day, on day one, before he leaves the driveway, we're going to do a review. Hey, do you got my photos? Okay. You got my dry logs? Okay. You got my equipment list? You got my scope? Okay, we're good. Go home. If we don't have those 3 things, get back in the fucking house, get me my shit so I can write a good invoice. That's the fundamental premise of QuickCheck in our universal dispatch integration. So that is different than, because what do we do? You know, honestly, Joe, David, me, what do we do? We're taking the fact 3 days later, 5 days later, we're getting the data 7 days old, a week old.
Yeah. The
and
murder
then we
already
have
happened.
to write an invoice. We got to write an invoice. And worse yet, we got to write a repair estimate based on data that's pretty goddamn incomplete. So our whole focus is, let's get on day one. We want to have that conversation on day one. And then the other thing that we're doing is we're going to ride that claim all the way to fruition, all the way to payment. So I'm
Okay.
excited about what we're going to do. It's a big, ambitious thing, and it's different than,
Mhm.
you know, I started Claims Delegates. I started independent estimating, remote estimating in 2012. This is different than what I've done in the last 11 years. But I think this is what is needed if we're going to address the problems in our market. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I think that's really great. I actually, it's kind of funny. So essentially, what you're not to contract what you just
No,
said
man.
into a simple term,
This is
but
an
what
open
I've
this is an open
I-
conversation, brother. Go.
right. So I feel that what we're heading towards, which I think across many industries, this is the direction that I guess project management is going, is remote project managers, and having on-site personnel follow a directive with someone who's remote, simply because being here at my desk, I can handle 3 times the load versus someone who needs to drive
Yes, you
to
can.
and fro.
Yep.
And that's why that's something we with one of my clients, Service Master in the Bay Area, we address. And our issue is we have a lot of techs that are English learners. So luckily, I speak Spanish for the most part.
ESL.
I'm
Okay.
able to communicate with most of them. Yeah, so they aren't confident enough to really sell jobs and kind of get complete scopes. And it wouldn't be too difficult for me to just get on the phone and talk to a customer and kind of get things going. I think that's great. Like I said, I think that's the future of the industry, is remote project.
What the cross check or the check is going to be is it's
Quick
going to
check.
be quick check, not cross check. Wrong person there. But
Cross check is on the tail end when we go to claim defense. Yep.
But
Okay.
effectively, the best way for people to think about it is it's like having a TPA where you have to call in it, you know, how like text out to you, like code blue and all, but as opposed to just telling you this is what you're allowed to do, or, you know, and all, it's more almost like having a TPA that's on your side to make sure that you are maximizing and covering your ass. And
Bro, I didn't even tee you up, man. You got it 100%.
effectively, it's kind of
Yeah.
like best. I mean, effectively, if any of you guys have the actionable profile, how it gives you suggestions on how to write the estimate. Check is going to give you make sure the people in the field are actually doing your business right and covering your ass on that regards.
100%, because we realize, we understand fundamentally that the data you collect on day one influences heavily the money you collect on day 30.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed. And since you're using a TPA analogy, well, it's not really analogy, I guess you could say.
It kind of is. It's a TPA,
Yeah.
only we're not recognized that way. But yeah.
Well, as a
Anti-TPA.
contractor,
Mm-hmm.
exactly, the nemesis. I think that's genius. For 2 reasons. One, if you can get a good relationship going and good procedures and systems in place, you'll accomplish 2 things. One, it's accurate billing, which is what the carrier wants, accurate to the scope. And secondly, you minimize the amount of revisions by submitting a invoice that doesn't require 3 or 4 scrubs before going through, which one, maximize. All these TPAs work on the metric system. So if you can get good metrics, you get more jobs. That's the sell.
Yep.
So I think that's genius. As a contractor, if I'm looking to bump up my lead scores, getting a pro to get on there on day 1 to let the tech know to call the adjuster XYZ, ask for, approvals for XYZ. It's a no-brainer.
There's gonna be a line there we won't cross. Like I'm not here to improve your POM score with Contractor Connection.
Right. But here's how you do it. Right.
But I mean, if you do things correctly, and Contractor Connection's probably a bad example because they're actually not the worst. They just expect they hold you to a higher standard of documentation.
Right.
But we're not going to guide people how to be a good program contractor. we're going to guide people how to be a good fucking contractor. And there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference. Yeah, man. Thanks, Evan. Appreciate the kind words.
Sure.
It's a big ask, because as Joe said early on, you said it early on in this conversation. Most of these guys are brand new. Most of these guys don't know what they don't know yet, and they're coming in with these rose-colored glasses on, and they just don't have a fundamental understanding of how this shit works, and what their bias is to go to what the norm is, and the industry norm is not contractor friendly. The industry bias is, play along to get along, whatever it takes to get paid, take it in the shorts, take a 40% haircut, whatever. That's not the game I play. The game I play is you bill for what you did, you document it to the highest ability you have, and then you hold the carrier responsible to their contractual obligation, which is the fucking policy. That's it.
Yeah, got a lot of work ahead of us, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a big thing. It's not impossible, but it's a big. When my co-founders came to me and said, let's do this thing, I was like, you don't really understand what you're asking here, because what you're asking is to do things fundamentally differently than they have ever been done.
Yeah, that's how revolution happens. Just takes one person to disagree. Amen,
brother. Amen.
So, right, guys, well, I gotta. Sorry.
Yeah, we all gotta jump. Yeah, man. Good to see you, David.
Yeah, late for supper. Well, guys, great as always. I appreciate not only just your knowledge, but also your time, and I really get excited for these Wednesday roundtable discussions. So I feel like I walk away with something new every time.
Good to see you.
And as far as any of the group members go, by the way, like, I have no problem doing training stuff one-on-one a lot of times, but if I have a bunch of people that are interested in it stuff, they'll reach out to me. Like, I'd have no problem doing like a little Zoom hour session here or there, or even just setting up like a class for a whole day or something for people who feel the need to learn, or they're not doing well in Xactimate and need to learn it a little bit better.
Let's do it. We got my restoration crash course coming up Thursday, Friday next week. But let's leave it open. Let's leave it.
I have a run question regarding that. So like, I know that the first day you were at a certain time later in the day, and then the second day I think you start earlier. Is that just because timing with your schedule, or?
Well, my intent behind that was let's keep the interruption to your daily operation to a minimum. So we'll do an afternoon on one day, on the first day, and then a morning on the second day, and then it's a Friday. You get the second half of your Friday to take care of shit. That was my intention.
Yeah, I know. For me, like, I guess the biggest challenge, I'm over in Hawaii, so the biggest challenge for me is like finding courses that are like not in 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning. And so like I think the first day it's like, I think it's like early, which is great. But then I think the next day, then it switches over to like 3 or 4 in the morning or something. Oh
shit. Well, my intention was always to record it and make it digestible at your own time. I have just haven't done it yet.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Robert, as most people,
what island you on?
I'm on Maui.
Oh shit. So what's going on there?
Crash course meeting. That's what's going on.
Yeah. Well, so I'm an asbestos contractor here, and pretty much, Lahaina got devastated. Very sad. I was on island when that happened, and I mean, like, I went to bed. Not, the 3 fires were there. It didn't sound like a big a deal yet. And I woke up, I had to go to the dump early in the morning.
Everything's gone.
I got an alert that Kihei people can go back to Kihei. I didn't even know Kihei was evacuated, and then started looking at the news and Lahaina was gone. I was just like, wow.
Sad.
Pretty surprising. But pretty much right now what's going on is they have it all locked down still. They open up the bypass, people can get up to like Kaanapali and get back and forth. A lot of donations and containers are showing up. You know, there's a lot of local people that are doing the really great job at keeping everyone informed of what's going on, what they need or don't need. But in general, for work-wise, is seeing what the EPA is going to do. FEMA came in and they got FEMA funding. Pretty much, I think we're waiting to see what happens if they're going to still keep it at a state level disaster or do it a federal disaster, and what the EPA is going to decide on, because the NESHAPs are pretty clear when in a fire event, because we have a lot of asbestos canic, a lot of asbestos massic, acoustical ceiling. And a NESHAP state, like a fire happens, now it's all friable asbestos, that whole lot. And technically it has to be cleaned up asbestos, but then I'm not sure what they're going to do in this situation. All the fires, sometimes they bypass rules and laws and everything else. So,
Well, my understanding, and by look, I saw a really good 360 view. Somebody put a drone up by there's some sort of smokestack right there in downtown, and they put a drone up into the 360 picture right there. My understanding was it was pretty horizontal, right? It started at that road up high and it went straight to the ocean.
yep.
So everything in that path is gone. And what I would assume is everything outside that path is not that affected. What are you seeing there?
Well, so like it started up on the mountain, came down, and then once it hit like Front Street, and then it just went north and decimated. And I'm not, I hear a lot of different things, but they're saying that like once it hit the Front Street, like the ocean, then it head north, and that time frame, I'm not sure how many miles that is, maybe 3 or 5 miles. It burnt in 5 minutes, so it wasn't much time once it hit the ocean and then went north. But yeah, it's that's pretty much historical Lahaina is pretty much gone.
Gone.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, we're pretty much on waiting to see what happens. Like they're not letting anyone other than I think HELC, the power company, and the FEMA guys, and I think the EPA have to do initial assessment, and anything that needs to be cleaned up, and then they go to the next phase.
Yeah, and there's just not going to be a lot. I don't think for FEMA or the the EPA, because a lot of that stuff was historical. It was stone. It was brick. It was concrete. It wasn't. There's not a lot of exotic materials in those building materials. But all right, hey Robert.
Well, Robert, what I'll let you know is as most people know, I go to sleep about 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I sleep till about 8:30, 9 o'clock. If you ever need any training, by all means, let me know. I'm sure my wife will happily let me stay up late so she doesn't have to hear me snore.
And give you an extra bag of pork rinds.
Because Andy can attest to the fact that my snoring is probably.
Oh God.
My wife's laughing downstairs right now.
Oh God.
Go ahead,
It
sir.
is.
I'll help you.
It's top two in my life, and Clark Brown holds the #1 spot, and he will forever, because sleeping in a hotel room in a different bed with Clark Brown is a whole physical experience.
But yeah, I mean, Robert, if you need any help, like an Xactimate and that stuff, hit me up. Like I have no problem giving you do a little bit more to your time frame to help you out a little bit. But I know a pain in the ass for you to.
Yeah. I've been estimating the last 6 years, so for the most part, and like when I joined this Rebel group, I've been like catching on things, especially with what Andrew posts, and certain things that he's used in his email returns I've used recently for like what's the insurance carrier that always that separates the insurance mitigation and the recon? That's Liberty Mutual.
Oh man, they're getting so bad.
I use some of your key points in the things that got estimates approved and moved forward, without having to like decrease my estimate, everything else. So it's been a big struggle. That's why originally I found this group. I think I was on LinkedIn, and you kind of posted some article about it, and I joined like 2 or 3 years ago, and like I was like, it's been beneficial ever since.
Good. Nice.
But this, like in this industry, you're always learning things. Like the way I estimate is completely different than everyone else. And like recently, I've looked at estimates from other estimators and realized there's things that I probably should add in mine. and things that are, that I do that, they liked as well. So it's just a never ending learning experience, this whole process. So
How are you finding the Xactimate Maui price list? Is there just one on the island, or is there multiple?
So they split Hawaii in three. So it's Oahu, and then there's a Wailuku for Maui, and then there's an outer island. Outer island is supposed to be, I guess, for the Big Island and Kauai, those things. Pretty much what I see mostly is that most adjusters use the Honolulu price list, which doesn't increase for the 30% increase of material shipping that Young Brothers did the last 2 years.
Yep.
So it's, a lot of times it's correcting them, letting them know that they're using the wrong price list. But in general, the price list is there, just like it's okay. Sometimes things are overpriced in it, and some things are underpriced. But in the big picture of the end, is it right in the margin I'm looking for? Usually is the case. Like drywall is always that one of the things you got to add some extra line items, extra labor hours, just for things that just won't cover in the square footage.
You should customize that price list. You should. Let's have that conversation.
A room.
Because
All right,
there's
brothers. Well, it's been a good 2 hours. I'm hungry.
it
I
has.
haven't had dinner yet.
All right,
All
guys,
right,
appreciate
see you,
it.
boys.
So, I mean, you see, I got some. I can save some for later, but I'm gonna hit you guys up a little bit later and look forward to next week's class, Andy.
all right. See y'all.
Take care.